One of my very favorite YouTubers, Eric July, has been telling us for many years to stop buying things from people who hate us. Well, we finally have. We've won many recent battles, but the war is far from over. This past Pride Month was what one of my former bosses would have called a come to Jesus moment for woke corporations. The strategy that could not fail, the strategy that had no downsides, the strategy that appealed to a very small, loud minority at the expense of a very large, quiet majority, finally came crashing down. And as someone once said, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. You don't get much bigger than the Walt Disney Corporation, and you don't fall much harder. Poor Walt, a classic capitalist with a vision inside his head that would change the world for the better. A vision that would appeal to adults and children around the world, teaching them about family and hope, about the power of imagination, traditional values, and hard work. What would he think of the twisted, narrow-minded, destructive beast that his former brainchild has become? Walt Disney, the man, would have immediately seen through the current Disney Corporation doctrine of spreading hate in the name of love, intolerance in the name of tolerance, bigotry in the name of anti-racism, and trying to destroy the word family by redefining it as something it isn't. COVID was a terrible disease, but ironically, the destructive lockdowns imposed on us lifted the veil on some things we suspected but didn't know for sure.
The showrunners were super welcoming. Meredith Roberts and like our leadership over there has been so welcoming to like my like not at all secret gay agenda. And so like I feel like I felt like it was, I mean, like maybe it was that way in the past, but I guess like something must have happened in the last like they're turning it around, they're going hard.
In a shockingly short period of time, the company that was seen as the champion of family values, while at the same time expressing openness to more non-traditional lifestyles, became the recognized enemy of family values and the champion of woke politics that would destroy the very core of who we are. The woke garbage masquerading as film just continues to pour in failure after failure, rebuke after rebuke. The message from the people who will determine Disney's fate couldn't be more clear. Change course or we will destroy you. But it takes a long time to turn the Titanic, especially when the captain and crew keep pretending that icebergs don't exist. In the past year, just the past year, Disney has squandered much of the goodwill that was built up over generations. As someone once said, it's hard to get rich quick, but easy to get poor quick. In Disney's most recent financial disclosures, it was forced to admit that its politics were getting in the way of the success of its business. This is a startling development. Outside Wall Street, these financial statements are generally as interesting as the latest Disney movie. But right there in black and white, Disney says the unsayable. Why? Because it has to. The anti-woke backlash against the company has become so severe, it is now an existential threat to the corporation. Not to disclose this fact would put directors and executives in severe legal jeopardy. And these people are interested in, first and foremost, in self-preservation. And it's not just Disney and other companies visibly affected by this year's Pride Month backlash. All across the business spectrum, woke is failing in spectacular fashion. Investment losses in what the woke call environmental, social, and governance, ESG, are being measured in the trillions. In just a few months, demand for government-mandated electric vehicles is collapsing. Expensive, and as it turns out, environmentally damaging, wind and solar projects are being canceled at a fever pace. Woke companies without a death wish are backpedaling at warp speed. Meanwhile, non-woke companies are on the offensive, gobbling up market share from their dumbstruck woke rivals by, surprise, surprise, giving their customers what they want. It's telling that even leftist gatekeepers like Google and the media propaganda machine are being forced to admit the truth. Why? Once again, because they have to. The one thing they used to rely on to attract customers, their credibility, is at an all-time low. New media outlets, and a few old ones, are on the offensive, peeling away leftist media customers and threatening not only their near-term success, but their long-term viability. The crystallizing clarity of capitalism is on full display. Please your customers or cease to exist. Now, I know leftists prefer what is really the only ideological alternative. Please your government overlords or cease to exist. The only difference being a much more literal meaning of the expression. But leftists, here's something to think about. Your subjects are, in a very real sense, your customers. Unlike in capitalist societies, you can imprison or kill them if they don't do your bidding. But here's the important part. You can't imprison or kill them all. And if you fail to please them often enough and for long enough, which you always do, you are eventually going to run into someone like this.